And that means it's time for the first federal program on WROI Giant FM and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
Yes, indeed, it is a beautiful morning. A little chilly, but, it is November 11th. It is Veterans Day, and I wouldn't expect anything less. Morning, Tanner.
Morning, Paul.
I was sitting there this morning thinking, last year for the Veterans Day ceremony, I had my winter coat on. There was mixed precipitation coming out of the sky, and I'm going, man, it is too cold to be out here. So I'll take 45 in class.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse, and it looks like it's going to get worse, at least for cold temps this weekend. So.
Yeah.
Man, it was nice yesterday, though.
It was.
Yesterday, it got up to the 70s. I can't remember last time, November 10th, we were in the 70s.
Neither can I, but that's Mother Nature for
you.
You're one good day.
One more last day to get you through till spring. And maybe it won't be our last day, but it is a little cold this morning, a little cloudy, but at least it's getting bright out.
Yes. Yeah.
Dark drive in the morning is not fun, especially with deer season, deer running around. You gotta be a little alert there.
Yeah, and your drive's a little longer now.
A little longer, a little more boring. It's all right. But like you said, today is Veterans Day, so we want to thank everyone who has served in the military. I'm sure you have family members that have served.
Yes, both my grandfathers were in the Navy as well as my great-grandfather, so.
I've had a couple great uncles that served in the military. Of course, First Federal founder Dick Belcher. Veterans Day was always close to his heart. He was a military man. He had served in the military. So thank you to everybody in our communities and just out there on Facebook that's watching. Anybody and everybody who served. So, yes.
Greatly appreciate everything they've done.
Absolutely. Well, I got some trivia surrounding Veterans Day.
All right. I didn't study this week. This isn't fair.
What U.S. president changed the name from Armistice Day to Veterans Day? I'll give you four choices.
Oh, I get four choices
I'll
today.
Give you four choices.
Okay.
Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, or Lyndon B. Johnson.
All right.
Testing your presidential knowledge this morning. I like to do that every once in a while.
Yeah.
For our president. You're usually pretty good at these.
But we'll see.
Sports report. Fortunately, don't have any local high school football to report on today. Rochester's season ended at the hands of Lafayette Central Catholic, and in a game that was a lot closer than the final score dictated.
Yeah.
But still a great season for Rochester. 10 wins. They're getting a lot of their roster back next year, so expecting another good season out of the Zebras next year.
Just think 2 seasons ago they were winless.
Exactly. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
2 seasons later. So, and a lot of those football players wrestle as well. And I see Coach Guard's wrestling team's ranked number 1 in 1A, and 7 of the wrestlers on the team are ranked in the top 10 in their weight class.
Wow.
So, it was a very exciting year for the wrestling team last year. It looks to be an exciting year again this year coming up.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to me that winter sports is here already, but like you said, it's November 11th and it's starting to get colder, so it makes sense. It's time for the indoor sports. And speaking of indoor sports, we got some girls basketball that's been going on.
Yes.
Rochester was defeated by Northwestern earlier this week. Tippecanoe Valley was defeated by Warsaw last night. Neither one of those teams is in action this weekend, so they get the weekend off. But Caston's in action tonight at North White, and Argus travels to Winnipeg.
All right.
So good luck to all those ladies that are competing tonight. And the boys' basketball season will be starting here soon. Swimming will be starting soon. Wrestling, like I said, will be starting soon. So
yeah, it's definitely
get it going.
Definitely that time of year.
Yes, it is. The college football is still going on. We have 3 more regular season weekends, so it's starting to. It's amazing to think. It feels like the season just started, and we're already almost at the end before the championship weekend. Some crucial games coming up for the local state teams. Purdue's got to try to get it going. They got embarrassed at home last week by Iowa, so their record is now 5-4. They travel to number 21 Illinois tomorrow, who's 7-2, coming off an upset loss themselves at the hands of Michigan State. Illinois is a 6.5-point favorite. That game is tomorrow at noon on ESPN2. Also at noon tomorrow, Indiana lost last week to Penn State. Doesn't get easier for them this week. They take a 3-6 record on the road. Number 2, 9-0 Ohio State. who's a 40-point favorite. So, yeah, not 14, 40. But,
I'm not a betting man.
that's a big point spread. That's a big point spread. That game's also tomorrow at noon, but on Fox. And then number 20 Notre Dame, yes, they're back in the top 25 after a huge win over Clemson last week at home. They're 6-3. I want to say it's at Navy, but it's actually a neutral site stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Navy's 3-6. Notre Dame's a 17-point favorite. That game's also at noon, but on ABC. So
pick a network and watch.
Yeah, exactly. All three of the big local teams are at noon tomorrow. That's not only the notable college football game going on in the state of Indiana tomorrow. DePaul and Wabash, big rivals, facing off in the 128th Monon Bell game tomorrow.
All right.
So, and I believe that game's on the ISC Sports Network, which is carried by RTC.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in watching some, and I know a lot of people around Rochester that went to DePaul or Wabash, and I have a lot of family members that went to DePaul. So it's a big game. I mean, it's one of the nation's oldest rivalries. So it's pretty cool and intense little college football rivalry there. Gotta love it. NFL. Colts were in the news a little bit this week, weren't they?
A little bit.
They lost last week to the Patriots to fall to 3-5-1. Then fired their head coach Frank Wright earlier this week. That didn't really turn some heads. I mean, I think people kind of saw the writing on the wall there. Oh, yeah. But it was the move that followed that up in Jim Irsay hiring Jeff Saturday, Colts Ring of Famer, former center for the Colts, as the interim head coach for the remaining 8 games. So that Jeff doesn't have any college or NFL coaching experience. He has some head coaching experience in high school, but coaching an NFL guy is a little different. But I think his players will run through a wall for him. I think he's that type of guy. So we'll see what happens. I don't really know if it's going to matter, to be honest. But the Colts take on the Las Vegas Raiders, who are not doing well themselves either. They're 2-6. Raiders are 5.5-point favorites. That game's on Sunday at 1 o'clock on CBS, and also it's right here on WROI.
Yes, it is.
It was the pregame, the game itself, and postgame.
Yep.
Right here.
We'll have it all for you.
The Chicago Bears, close effort against the Miami Dolphins last week, but came up short. But they might have found themselves their quarterback of the future in Justin Fields. He's starting to play well. The record's 3-6, but they are 2.5-point favorites over the Detroit Lions, who are 2-6, but beat the Green Bay Packers. Don't say that very often. That game's also at Sunday at 1 o'clock, but on Fox, so people don't have to worry about the Colts and Bears being on the same channel this week.
Yeah.
Like they were last week.
Yeah.
And college basketball got started this week. All Indiana teams, the big teams, I should say, the big four, are undefeated. Butler's 1-0, Purdue's 1-0, Indiana's 2-0, and Notre Dame's 1-0, even though Notre Dame just escaped Radford by 3 points last night, so they got the scare. They got the first scare of the big teams. They all are in action the next coming days. Butler is against Penn State on Monday. IU's against Miami, Ohio on Sunday. Purdue's against Austin Peay tonight. And Notre Dame's against Youngstown State, I believe, next Monday or Tuesday. But all those team schedules start to get harder in the next week or so. So get the cupcakes out of the way and then get right into it. So got some tidbits here this morning, Paul. On this day, 1921, U.S. President Warren G. Harding dedicated the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at the Arlington Cemetery. Still pretty popular today.
Yeah.
I've never been. Have you?
I have not. No, it is on my bucket list.
On the bucket list. On this day, 1926, U.S. Route 66 was established from Chicago to Santa Monica. It stretched 2,448 miles.
Wow.
Pretty popular. It's got restaurants named after it. It's been in movies. It's been in TV shows. So, U.S. Road 66. On this day, 1997, NHL's new Columbus, Ohio franchise announced the team's name would be the Blue Jackets, named after soldiers in the Union Army during the Civil War.
Oh, I didn't realize that's where the name came from.
I didn't either, so that's why I put it in there. Like, that's pretty cool. Usually teams just come up with names and they don't have the greatest backing to
bird
them.
or a tree or something.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And even though they were announced in 1997, I don't think they got in the league until 2000.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, 99 or 2000. Still one of the newer teams in the league. The NHL hasn't added too many teams.
No.
Las Vegas Golden Knights Seattle Kraken being the latest. Forgot about them.
Oh yeah, that was just a couple years ago.
Yeah. So On this day in 2013, The Hunger Games Catching Fire premiered overseas, and then it would premiere in the U.S. later. But I have never watched any of the Hunger Games movies.
I attempted.
Yeah.
And I got about 15 minutes into
One
the
for
first
you?
one, and I just, all right, what's the point?
One for you.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people really like the movies, like the books. Maybe one of these days I'll sit down and give it a try.
Maybe.
We got some national days today. Today's National Singles Day. It's also National Metal Day in the music.
Okay.
So, are we gonna hear any metal today?
We might.
It's also National Sundae Day, as in the dessert, not the day of the week. You a sundae fan?
Sometimes.
Caramel, hot fudge.
Caramel hot fudge,
Peanuts.
yeah, I can do that, yeah. Not a big fan of strawberry ice cream, so I've got to leave that off of it.
Okay. Just vanilla.
Vanilla, chocolate, I'm good with that.
I might have to get a sundae today. I'm getting hungry already, and we're not even 8 o'clock. It's also World Origami Day.
Oh, okay.
You ever remember making origami in art class or anything growing up?
Yeah, I was not
wasn't
very good at it.
I wasn't good at it either.
I could fold the paper into squares, and they still weren't straight.
Yep. Art was, I have high respect for anybody that's very artistic, because I was not. Art class was always a struggle for me.
Right.
I got some upcoming local events going on. I see the RHS, the Rochester High School Drama Department's presenting its fall play tonight and tomorrow.
Yes.
That plays the Great American Talent Show. Start time is at 7 o'clock, and tonight and tomorrow tickets are $10, and they're going to be sold at the door.
Yeah.
So
there's your weekend plans.
Yeah, they always do a good job putting on plays and musicals, and so go support the kids.
Yep.
Go watch yourself what should be a good show. $10 right at the door.
Yeah. Can't beat that.
No. Got some money news this morning. We're actually going to go over money news a little bit because it's fun and positive to talk about this morning, because the Dow closed at a little over 1,200 points. Went up, I should say 1,200 points, and closed at 33,715.37.
That is great.
Good day
news.
for the market yesterday.
Yeah.
Jumped pretty wildly. I don't think anybody really saw that coming. But
No,
we'll take it.
I didn't. I was listening to Randy earlier do the report, and he said that, and I went, wow. I mean, I know Tanner said it was good news, but that's good news.
Well, the future's up this morning 160 points at 33,872. So
All right.
it's good news too.
Yeah.
And we'll talk some more money news here in a bit when we have our special guest on, First Federal family member Bryan Bell, who's LPL Registered Representative. He's going to talk about Medicare Insurance and what our financial services department can offer, and we'll talk about the market a little bit too.
All right.
Elon Musk is still in the news.
Oh, what do you do now?
What did he do? He's still, well, we're in the era now of Twitter of the verified $8 blue check mark.
Yeah.
And it's not supposed to have parody accounts, but a lot of parody accounts are getting the blue check mark, and it's really throwing people off.
Yeah, I saw a handful of people just in like 15 minutes that were posting, oh look, I'm verified.
There is a way you can click on the account and see if they are Twitter verified or paid $8 to get verified, but it takes a lot of work to do that if you don't want to dig that deep. But I did see, while I was bringing Musk up, is I did see he's getting rid of their work from home forever. That's something Twitter established within the last 2 years, was a work from home forever policy. He's getting rid of it, just like he did it with Tesla. He wants employees back in the office.
All right.
So we'll see.
Well, he's down half his staff right now. So
Oh, true.
that
So we'll see where that goes. He's saying he had to sell a bunch of his Tesla stock to keep Twitter afloat.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how I feel about this whole
I think he sold a
acquisition.
bunch of his stock to buy Twitter, and then it's just saying, no, it was to keep it afloat.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I like Twitter. I use Twitter a lot. I don't want to see it change too much.
Right? I'm the same way.
I'm not paying $8
Right.
either to get
No.
verified. I'm not important enough to be verified for one. I don't need to be verified.
No. I'd rather get the Twitter
Yeah,
verification.
then you feel like you did something.
Yeah.
So. Well, this morning at First Federal, we are open today. I know I got a question on Facebook this morning if we were open. We are open today from 8:30 to 5, and tomorrow from 8:30 to noon, so our normal hours. You can always bank with us when we're not open. online with our mobile app, which is free to download on whether you have an Apple device or Android device. Just type in First Federal Savings Bank for the white star with the green background. And our ATM is open 24/7 as well if you need some cash, and if you're outside one of our branch locations, no worries. We're part of the MoneyPass ATM network, so type in moneypass.com, see what ATMs are on the MoneyPass network, go use that ATM, and you don't get charged a surcharge fee.
Okay.
We offer Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business checking accounts. Right now, when you open up a new checking account, you can receive a free brownie pan.
Yes, it's a nice brownie pan.
Brownies are my favorite dessert, so if anybody wants to get a brownie pan and make me some brownies, I'm not gonna argue against you.
Or there's another way that they can get those.
Yes, there is, Paul. I'm glad you brought that up, and that's referring a friend. You can do that in person or online. You refer a friend. Say Paul Zartman refers you. You go in, open up a checking account. Say Paul sent you. Not only will you get the brownie pan for opening up the account, Paul will get the choice of the brownie pan or a $10 Amazon gift card.
Ooh.
For just referring.
All right.
So,
Yeah,
we can do one or two things.
I was going to be nice this week since you need a brownie pan and say Tanner Lee sent you.
You can do that too. I won't argue with that. So
He'll take a brownie pan.
we also just introduced contactless debit cards.
Yes.
Just recently, and those are going over really well. They have a different design on them than our current debit card, and eventually that will be our main debit card. But right now, most customers have, once your card expires, you will get this card. But if you're in a urgent hurry to get this card, you can come in and get it today.
All right.
We won't say no, you can't have this card. We can replace your card, but if your card's expiring or about to expire, you can expect to get this new card. It's contactless. You can just tap and go. Now, some merchants do require you to put your PIN number in, but some don't. That's not our choice. It's the merchant's choice. But either way, you just tap it and go. So very, very easy. Works great. Card looks good. Very excited about it.
And that's, one of the nice things I like about First Federal is you guys will print the cards right there. So
Yes.
if I come in and, my dog ate my debit card.
Oh, the dog ate your homework. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Heard eating that there. I can come in and say, here's what's left of it. And you guys go, hold on. And within, 5 minutes, I've got a new one in my hand.
Instant issues. A really nice service. You don't have to wait.
Yep.
So you can come in and leave with the card the same day.
Yeah.
And we also have our November purchase special going on. That's through the end of the month. It ends on November 30th, 2022. That's for purchases only. So if you're in the market for a new house purchase, you might want to take advantage of this. It's $900 discount off standard closing costs. Okay. So we had that going on last month. Went pretty well, so we said, we'll extend it for one more month. Yeah. And we offer commercial lending for business. Contact Lindy Breeden for more information on that. His direct line is 574-223-1716. And please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FF Banking. Like us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you can see all of the First Federal Radio shows from the past 4 years and see the transformation of the studio we're in right here at WRI. It's quite the transformation.
Yeah, and if you haven't made it in yet, come in and check it out. It's
yes, very cool. Very cool. Records on the ceilings and everything. So great painting around, good equipment, good place to be out on a Friday morning or any day for that matter. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are FDIC insured, equal housing lender, and our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us legal.
Makes us legal. Ready to bring on our special guest who's been on the radio multiple times with us over his time at First Federal Savings Bank, and that is Bryan Bell, LPL Registered Representative and part of our Financial Services Department. Morning, Bryan.
Hey, good morning.
Thanks for joining us yet again.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Definitely got to say Happy Veterans Day.
Yes.
Everyone out there, yes.
Yes, it's always important. We want to thank everybody who has served in the military, and it's a pretty good day for the market. Yesterday was, I should say.
Well, today's good, too, to see that after such a rally yesterday, even the future's up a little bit. The bond market's closed in observance of the Veteran Day, but stock market is open today, and it's nice to see a little green on the screen after such a rally yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
Get some positivity and just a nice little punch this morning to get it going.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this whole year it's been the sentiment. It's been really negative, and it's that does weigh on the market.
Sure.
Selling, getting out, or just not feeling good about it. But the shoulda, couldas. But it's something we always preach is definitely yesterday, missing a day like yesterday for a long-term investment goal can just have a really huge effect. No one with that, the inflation data that came out that was so favorable, and the markets jumping up like it did. You just can't predict that. But missing a day like that definitely could hinder your returns for the long term. So that's why we always preach, investing's for the long term. Stay in there.
Yes.
So you don't miss those rally days like yesterday. But that, I believe I heard, that was probably that rally haven't seen something like that for like 10 years. So.
Yeah. I was reading that this morning too. So yeah, I don't think many people probably predicted that yesterday.
No, I didn't. That's for sure.
But we'll take the good news. So First Federal Financial Services Department, you guys have been staying busy this year.
Yep. We with all the negativity, but people are still planning to retire. People are still either changing jobs, needing to roll over their old employer plan to their IRAs. No, we've been plugging along, and then this type of during this time period of the year, with adding our Medicare solutions to our team, it's kept us busy. It's annual enrollment period now. That started in October 15th, and that ends on December 7th. So really wanted to kind of focus on that this morning, talk about Medicare. We're here to help you. You don't have to be a First Federal bank member. You don't have to have investments accounts with us with LPL. We do offer that service to everyone in the area that we serve. But Medicare, so right now everybody's really busy shopping the changes that happen to their drug plans. Okay, during the annual enrollment period, usually you're looking at the formularies within drug plans because those change every year, and they want to make sure that next year they're going to be covered. The insurance industry, the government, it does get a little complicated, but we have great softwares to kind of smooth those confusions out there. Usually you get notified from your insurance company if the formulary is changing, but not always, I guess, with that communication can miss you. So it definitely does not hurt just to sit down with us, go over your medications that you're currently on with your current plan, and then we look and see if the new plans are changing. Some of the time, even most of the time, you're good to go where you're at, but it's always good to check that every year. And that's what the annual enrollment period's for. Also, it gives you a chance to sign up for coverage. If you haven't signed up in the past, maybe you missed your initial enrollment period, those types of things there. So we're busy with that definitely this time of year.
Now, say I'm not a First Federal customer, or even if I am a First Federal customer, does it cost me anything to sit down with you and go over Medicare?
Absolutely not. No, this is a service we provide. My biggest passion comes from working from Social Security. I was with them for 10 years before coming to the bank, and I really do have a huge heart when it comes to this topic, because I think a lot of people are getting close to 65 and get on Medicare, and they just don't know where to start. They get all this literature. It's like you get on this magic mailing list. You get all this bombarded with all this mail, but you don't have the chance to maybe have a chance to educate yourself and just make that decision. So that's my passion when I sit down with somebody. I can help you get to whatever destination you want to get to when it comes to the Medicare space. But first and foremost, I want you to be educated when making that decision. It doesn't cost. You can reach us just like always at 574-223-1705. Get an appointment set up before December 7th, and so we can look at your coverages and make sure you're going down the right path in Medicare.
In our financial services department, it's made up of 3 individuals. Your team.
Mark, Wendy, and I. We all work as a great team. We're definitely remote. Meaning we're mobile. We cover 6 branches, all 3 of us, so we're definitely on the move. But you can reach us at that phone number there, 574-223-1705.
And you were talking about education, and I think that's one of the most important pieces, not only in our financial services department, but just overall First Federal. We want to educate our customers.
Absolutely. We want to get a chance to sit down with you, maybe clear any discrepancies up, things that you've heard out there in the world. Definitely just try to get you down that right path. And so Medicare, I just want to go into that a little briefly. When you are getting close to 65, there's Parts A, which is hospital. There's Parts B, which is doctor. And that was $170. That costs $170.10. It's actually going down to $164 next year. Where everyone's probably heard the scuffling of the Social Security cost of living adjustment. It's 8.7. That's great, even though it's tied to inflation. So you got to kind of smile a little bit when you hear that number. So that's Parts A and Parts B. And then Part C is referred to as the Advantage Plan, and then Part D of Medicare is the drug plan. Okay, so those are the 4 parts of the plans there. And then basically you have an option to get a supplement, a Medicare supplement, and a drug plan. Those go together. Or you can have a chance to get an Advantage Plan, which I always tease and say that's the combo meal. Okay, so they take all the benefits balled up into one plan and provide it that way. The Advantage plans, they are a little more consumer friendly, but you got to know that you have some exposure there with some co-pays, and then the supplement plans and the drug plan that work together on the other side of it. That's a little more full coverage on that side. But either way, the drug plans, those are similar no matter which road you go down. You have co-pays, you have deductibles sometimes, but you just want to make sure that you're in that right plan because every plan is different. Every formulary is different. It depends. Your drugs can fall into Tier 1 in one plan, and then they might be a Tier 2 or Tier 3 in the other plan. And obviously, the higher tier those drugs are in, that's the higher copay that you have. So that's definitely, that can be a huge impact on a financial budget when you have those medications every month.
So for a medication to fall in one tier, not the other, it's just based on price point?
Yeah, it's just, yep, and based on that formulary within that specific drug plan. Yep,
Okay.
Absolutely.
We're speaking with LPL Registered Representative Bryan Bell, who is a member of our First Federal Financial Services Department this morning, speaking heavily on Medicare insurance. And Medicare insurance is something we just rolled out a couple years ago on the bank.
Yep, we started this service close to over 2 years ago, and just it's been a really huge impact. We've gotten to talk to a lot of people and educate them on their upcoming decisions when it comes to Medicare, and that's our sole focus, is just sitting down with you, discussing what you have, what's out there, maybe clearing any discrepancies up that you're hearing from buddies or family members. Yeah, just making sure that you know exactly what you're getting into when it comes to the Medicare space. It's a huge decision because sometimes you'll make that decision to be on that plan, and in order to switch, you may go through underwriting the next time versus in your initial enrollment period, there's no underwriting. You just get to sign up for the plan you want, but then past that initial enrollment period, you could possibly have to go through underwriting, and if somebody's been diagnosed or you went through some critical chronic illness, you may have some trouble switching. So it's definitely good to know all your options right up front, and that's our focus at First Federal, is to get you educated on those Medicare decisions.
Anything else on Medicare you want to touch, or anything just related to financial services, 401k, IRA, 529 plans, anything like that?
No, just we're independent in the insurance space. All that means is we can literally get you any type of insurance that fits your budget and fits your needs. It's not with just one company. We don't just do business with one company in the insurance space. But give us a chance before December 7th. Sit down with us. We can discuss your benefits that you have and make sure that you're on the right track.
And how can they reach you? What's your phone number, email?
Yeah, 574-223-1705. Everyone has our numbers at the banks, at the different branches. If you call into your local branch because you can't remember this number, they'll get a hold of us.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Bryan. Thanks for joining us this morning. Thanks for educating myself, Paul, and everybody listening out there and watching on Facebook.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's see if you can get the trivia answer right. Let's see if either one of you can get the trivia answer right this morning. I got to go back to my question here. What U.S. president changed the name of Armistice Day to Veterans Day? Was it Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, or Lyndon B. Johnson?
Go ahead.
I'm honest. I don't know. I'm not sure. I would like to refer to Paul on this, but I'm going to take a stab at C.
C, which would have been John F. K.
Dwight Eisenhower.
Dwight Eisenhower. Paul's correct. Dwight Eisenhower, 1954.
I have a gentleman who just walked in that if I would have gotten it wrong, I would have been slapped upside the
I figured that might be the case. And I was going to give a clue earlier as to what year, but I thought that would give it away. So.
I wouldn't know the year off the top of my head.
Well, let's close with some words of wisdom, shall we?
Let's do
It's
it.
from John C. Maxwell, an American clergyman. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way.
Those are great words of wisdom. Thank you guys very much, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, Paul. We'll see you then.
With those words of wisdom,
Right.
this has been
Oh, yeah,
the First Federal
8:03.
Program. Join us every Friday at 7:30 on WROI.